Chosen one, let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at your life and thought, why does it always feel harder for me than for others? Maybe you've worked just as hard, prayed just as much, and yet it seemed like everyone else was winning while you were stuck in the storm. I want you to know, it was never random. Every sleepless night, every tear, every door that slammed in your face was shaping you for something greater. And right now, you are not watching this by accident. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why your pain was never wasted and how this very season is shifting into breakthrough and abundance. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear is not just encouragement. It could be the turning point of your entire life. But let's be real for a moment. Chosen one, do you remember the last time you felt invisible? Like your prayers were bouncing off the ceiling? Like nobody cared? Maybe it was when the bills piled up, or when someone you trusted walked away. It hurts, doesn't it? And you've probably asked yourself, if God really sees me, why would He let me go through this? Hold that thought, because what I'm about to reveal will flip the way you see your pain. Those sleepless nights, they weren't punishment, they were preparation. That rejection, it wasn't abandonment, it was redirection. And if you lean in with me right now, you'll begin to see how every broken piece of your story is part of a divine design. Let's step into it together. From pain to purpose, why your struggles were never random. Chosen one, let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why your life felt harder than everyone else's? Why you cried alone at night while others seemed to move forward so easily? Why doors shut in your face while they opened wide for others? Let me tell you this. It was never random. I know you've been through storms. Maybe you lost a job you thought would carry you until retirement. Maybe you felt the sting of being judged for not having enough money. Maybe your own children didn't respect you, or friends who promised loyalty quietly disappeared when you needed them most. That pain is real. I'm not here to deny it. I'm here to tell you that heaven saw every moment of it. From the outside, people may have looked at you and whispered, they failed. They're done. But God never saw failure. He saw gold being refined in fire. Think about it. When raw gold is pulled out of the earth, it doesn't shine. It looks ordinary, even dirty. It has to be placed in fire, melted, purified, before anyone sees its true worth. That's you. The fire you've walked through wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Let me give you a real story. There was a man in America who worked faithfully at the same company for 20 years. Then one day, without warning, he was laid off. Imagine the shock. 2 decades of loyalty gone in a single meeting. He thought it was the end. But in that very valley, something shifted. Instead of collapsing, he picked up a skill he had ignored for years: graphic design. Within months, he was building websites for small businesses. 2 years later, he owned his own company and made more than he ever earned in that old job. He once thought his layoff was destruction. Now he sees it as direction. And you know this story too well from the Bible. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers, sold as a slave, and thrown into prison for something he didn't do. People probably looked at him and said, "Poor man, his life is over." But heaven saw a prime minister in training. And when the time was right, Joseph went from a prison cell to the palace, from chains to authority. His rejection was God's redirection. The mistake most of us make is this: we confuse pain with abandonment. We assume because life is heavy, God must have left us. But chosen one, that's not true. Pain is not proof of God's absence. Often, it's proof of His shaping hand. Just like a sculptor chisels stone, God was chiseling you, cutting away what was temporary to reveal what was eternal. So here's the lesson. The rejection was redirection. That breakup, that job loss, that betrayal, it wasn't meant to destroy you. It was steering you into purpose. You didn't lose. You were being positioned. And let me remind you, yes, I'm talking about you. Those tears you cried, heaven counted them. That pain you felt in your chest when you thought no one noticed, it was shaping you for a stage bigger than you can imagine. So don't despise your struggle, because every setback was a setup for your comeback. Every closed door was an arrow pointing toward the one door that truly matters. And now that you see the fire had a purpose, let's take the next step together. Because if your pain was preparation, then what comes next is transformation. In the next part, I'll show you how God is shifting you from lack to abundance, from being overlooked to overflowing. Stay with me. This is where the breakthrough begins. From lack to abundance, how God positions you for overflow. Now listen carefully, because what I'm about to say could be the turning point of your entire life. Chosen one, you've known what it feels like to live in lack. Maybe you've counted every dollar at the grocery store, embarrassed to put items back at the register. Maybe you've smiled in public but cried in private, because no one knew how close you were to losing everything. People looked at your struggle and whispered behind your back. They thought you'd never rise, never recover. But here's the shift. A table is being prepared for you. Not just any table. A table in the presence of those very enemies who mocked you, just as Psalm 23:5 says. Can you picture it? The same crowd that doubted you will have no choice but to watch you sit in honor, your cup overflowing. Let me give you a real story. A single mom in Texas was scraping by, clipping coupons just to feed her children. She worked long hours, yet it never seemed enough. But one day, she chose to believe that her life could be different. With trembling hands, she started a small baking business out of her own kitchen. At first, she barely made gas money, but she stayed faithful, and month by month, her customer list grew. Today, that same mom owns a thriving bakery, employs others in her community, and no longer counts pennies at the store. She once lived in lack. Now she walks in overflow. And you know this from the Bible too. Job lost everything. His wealth, his health, his family. It looked hopeless. Yet in the end, God restored him double. Double the blessing, double the respect, double the testimony. What seemed like the end became the setup for more than he ever imagined. Here's the mistake most people make. They think abundance only means money. But true abundance is so much deeper. It's respect returning where there was once shame. It's health renewed after years of struggle. It's children rising to call you blessed instead of ignoring you. It's walking into a room and no longer being overlooked, because the favor of God rests on you. Wealth in God's kingdom is layered. Yes, it includes financial breakthrough, but it also means peace of mind, restoration of relationships, and honor in places where you once felt forgotten. That's what overflow looks like. But here's something practical I want you to do. Write down 3 things in your life you want God to restore. It could be finances, health, or even your sense of joy. Carry a coin in your pocket, not for superstition, but as a reminder every time you touch it. I am never forgotten. And every morning, speak out loud, this is my season of overflow. Because faith without action won't open heaven's treasury. Chosen one, imagine this. 6 months from now, the same people who doubted you will call you for advice. The same table where you felt ignored will now have a seat of honor waiting for you. That is where God is placing you. So hold on to this truth. Your lack was never the end. It was the stage for your abundance to be revealed. And as you step into this overflow, remember, it's not just for status, it's for testimony. Now stay with me, because in the next part, I'll show you how to seal this transformation in your daily life. So the breakthrough doesn't just come, it stays. Chosen one, let's take a deep breath together. Look back for a moment. Remember this. Your pain was never wasted. It was preparation. Every tear, every setback, every lonely night was shaping you for this season. And remember this. Abundance is not coming from far away. It's already moving toward you. The doors are shifting. The table is being set. Your cup is beginning to overflow. Now hear me clearly. This word is not for the crowd. It's for you. Yes, you. Out of millions of voices online, heaven guided your steps here because you needed this reminder right now. If you feel this truth stirring in your soul, write, "I claim it" in the comments. Like this video as a sign of faith and subscribe so you never miss another prophetic word meant just for you. But more importantly, after this video, take 5 quiet minutes alone. Lift your hands. Speak it out loud. My season has shifted. That is your prophetic act today. And chosen one, heaven will hear it.